There we go. And we're live.
Oh, are we live?
We're live. Oh, yeah.
Can't be
We
a
are
podcast
live.
unless I say that right at the beginning.
Where's Jono?
I think I've said that at the beginning of every podcast so far. It's my new trademark.
It's your new hotness.
I'm going to start doing that live now at our shows.
At a show?
And I get out on stage. It's going to be like, da-da-da. And I'm going to just be like, oh, shit, are we live?
Oh shit, is my guitar on?
Cool,
No,
like, unique
it's not.
things that we do. So
Yeah.
Jono's not here. He's not feeling good.
He's
got
feeling
the-
sad.
He's got the Bucky Yuckies.
So send
Up in his
Jono
guts.
some good vibes.
He's got the Sunday fun days.
Send Jono a good vibrator. I mean, good vibes.
The weather wasn't good enough. We're going to go outside. We got new mics. We went for lav mics this time.
Yep.
Yep. Shout out to Adam. I
we'll
stole
s-
his.
Like, we'll see if it sounds good. Like, we're slowly trying to make it so that our podcast, we can do it in the laziest, easiest way possible.
And possibly do it on tour.
And
Yeah.
then we also want to make sure that the quality is like passable, because the last two, a lot of like wind and shit going on.
It was a bit windy.
We experimented and it didn't turn out as well as
I mean,
we
it was
hoped.
like okay audio wise, but it's like for a band podcast, you'd think the audio would be like the best part. It's like,
Turns out it's the worst part.
turns out it's just the video. It's the best part.
Well, it was nice, though. It was a beautiful day. We had that deck sitting right there.
Yeah.
You know, it was...
We don't get that many beautiful days in Edmonton, so you
And it's
gotta
like 6.
take advantage of them.
Unless there's a wicked ass heat wave.
our week-long summer.
I like the heat waves though. When it's
Hell
plus
yeah.
40.
Oh man, well that happened on my birthday last year.
I'll take that
It
over
was like
minus
yeah,
40 anytime.
all week. Had to sleep in the basement.
Stank. I mean, that's
Yeah, you're
where I
in the
live,
basement,
so it's
but-
great. And I'm just like, yeah, this is pretty good. I don't see what's so bad about this heat wave.
It's the best time to have a birthday.
Oh yeah.
Like, right in the middle of the year.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
June 29th is my birthday. Maybe
My
this will be out
birthday
before
is
that. It
right after
absolutely
his.
will be out before that. I hope.
Hey.
So yeah, if you're wondering, my birthday is June 29th, and Pete's is
The day after.
June 30th.
Yeah, I think they can count.
I
You
don't
know what
man.
I don't ever remember is how many days are in each month.
Yeah, fuck that. You're supposed to. It's like something to do with your knuckles or some shit.
Is it
No, it's a rhyme. Well, it's not really a rhyme. The way we
Something,
remembered
something
it
in
when I was a kid. Yeah,
December.
30 days have
A, B,
September,
C, D,
April,
E,
June,
F.
and November.
See,
All the rest have 31.
To remember
except
that,
for
you may as well
February
just
20.
remember which ones have it, right? Like,
Yes.
it's not like
I can only remember that February has 28.
Yeah.
Other than
'cause that's
that,
the
it's
weird
like I don't
one.
know. They have at least
Weird
30.
one out.
yeah, I have to look every time. To
There
try-
should be one month with like fucking 32 days.
But I'll tell
Just
you,
to fuck everybody.
I'm impressed. Anytime someone knows exactly how many days are in what month, I'm like, oh shit, this
You
guy
sh-
went to school.
you
I gotta do
should
that
be
thing in my
impressed.
head every time. 30 days have September. Every
That-
fucking time. And
that
then I'm
just-
like a minute late.
That just means that they're filling their head with useless knowledge and that they haven't filled their brain with other important information.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like
such
like
as-
the names of all the best hair metal bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of useless information that pertains to cores, I learned something interesting last night while I was deep down inside a YouTube hole. So in the 60s, the United States created, there was like this diabolical super weapon. It's called a SLAM, which is a supersonic low altitude missile. So it's basically
Dude,
this
it's
Great
Slam.
acronym,
Yeah.
hey?
Sick.
So,
Dude,
anyways,
Slam.
it's a nuclear powered rocket. So it's like this giant rocket and has a ramjet. And so what a ramjet means is it takes your regular air, something that's going super fast, takes regular air in the front, and then it gets superheated by the nuclear reactor, and it just blasts out super hot air. So that's where the thrust comes from. So it doesn't need any fuel or anything.
Damn.
So it can stay aloft for like a month. And it's this missile, and then they just pack it full with nuclear bombs. So it's this missile that just shoots off other missiles for like a month. And it's spewing radioactive like bullshit out the back.
That sounds
it's-
like the worst idea ever.
Anyways,
Why not?
so the super important thing, the technology that was holding them back was they didn't have any materials that could withstand the heat. And so they were looking around the United States for some company that could create something that could withstand the heat. And so like, you know what? Maybe we need ceramics, some sort of ceramic
Yeah,
thing
like
that
on
gets really
spaceships.
hot. And wouldn't you know who had the technology? None other than Coors.
Coors Light.
So Coors,
Space Boys.
yeah, the
Beer
Space
cans.
Boys.
The
So,
Space Boys
no,
did it again.
Space Boys. So Coors, when they initially started back in like 1900 or whatever the fuck, back in the day,
Yeah.
they created two companies, one for brewing, and then the Coors guy was like, fuck, I need some dank ass bottles. So he made Coors Ceramics or like a
shit.
bottle plant
Nice.
that made ceramics and bottles. And so that company eventually got so good at their job that they were helping to create American super weapons.
Damn. What would Stryker's contribution to super weapons be?
I don't know. It's probably some like psyop where it's just like everybody can't stop diarrheaing or something.
No, we make we denigrate the moral compass of our fan base, making them more comfortable talking about shitting.
There you go.
There you
Making
go.
them less palatable,
guard is down.
less palatable people in a professional setting.
Yeah, there you go.
Then no one can get jobs.
Yeah,
Dude, that was hard for me to get out. All those are big words.
Those are a good job, dude.
The entire
I'm proud of you.
The entire white collar industry of all industries just collapses. Everyone's a Stryker
Good.
fan, and they all get fired.
I think I would just
I started
take
talking
the,
about shit at work and they fired me.
No. Like if I was gonna make a weapon, I'd just like scale up. Remember that movie Orgasmo? I just scale that up. It's you don't just shoot it at one person. It's just like you drop an Orgasmo bomb on the fucking country. Everybody just jizzes their pants and goes to bed, dude. Over. Nobody wants to fight after they just finished climaxing.
Maybe that's the best time to fight.
I don't know, man. Either you have post-nut clarity or post-nut shame.
Wait a minute, this sucks.
That determines what kind of soldier you are, whether you have shame or clarity.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, dude.
All right, we got off to a good start.
Yeah. We're firing it up. What else is on the menu?
Dan, what's your super? Oh, you already talked about the super weapon.
My weapon?
Yeah.
The PSYOP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where everybody just gets fired.
I guess Pete's is the international semen machine.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll take that slam missile.
Slam.
That
You
could be
take the
mine.
slam missile?
Yeah.
Okay, the three of us, we're going to be
How did you
unstoppable, dude.
contribute to that? You didn't. How? I guess you didn't contribute to yours. I'm the only one who contributed.
It's true. I
as a member
kind
of
of
the
took
band.
the idea from someone else, and
I'm just helping popularize the idea. I'm getting word out. That's just I'm on the marketing team.
I
bro.
scaled it up.
I'm on the marketing team for slam missiles.
I'm on the embiggener team.
Yeah,
You're just embiggening everybody else's ideas.
Bro,
it's on Wikipedia, so you know it's true.
musician problem side tangent. This will only apply to people who are in the music industry, sort of.
Everyone else, stop listening.
Cover your ears now. Yeah, this is inside stuff. So I hate Waves plugins now because they won't let me upgrade my plugins without paying. So I said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, that's lame. That is
Even though
super
I
lame.
mean I spent a bunch of money on it, and then it's like, oh, okay, here's an upgrade plan, but you have to pay for it. It's like, what?
Do they still let you use the old version without upgrading though?
No, because it doesn't work on the new.
So you can't use the product that you
OS.
bought.
Yeah,
That's lame.
but it's like
Fuck that.
probably in the fine print somewhere. But
It's probably technically a license because I think isn't it
Yeah.
the software license agreement, the EULA, EULA?
yeah, I got
license
I got
agreement.
shit on.
Your licensing.
You don't own this. Yeah.
buying
So
Waves plugins no
I
more.
was like, fuck. I'm just thinking like, I got some other plugins and stuff, but I don't have enough without the Wave stuff because I had there's a bunch of holes missing.
Yeah, I bought a huge pack from Waves.
Yeah, I have like a bunch of shit. So I got the Slate digital everything package. It's like $10 a month
Oh, nice.
and it's everything. And it's free for the first month to try it. So far, already sounds fucking sick. I'm stoked. Everything sounds really good.
Slay.
Take that, Waves.
Yeah, Waves can suck it.
Yeah.
Stupid idiots.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, maybe I'm losing money somehow on that. But whatever. I just out of principle, it's like, holy, what a terrible fucking business model just to be like, yeah, we're just going to like force money out of our, like, I kind of understand because if they have to go back through all of their plugins and like reprogram,
It's probably not a lot of work.
yeah, you'd probably change it to fucking the number 11 to number 12 or something.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Probably gonna hire a new designer to design the interface every time too.
I don't think so.
You
I don't think
don't
because
think
it's
so?
just
Have
it
they changed the
just-
interface?
They just need
The
to
look of
make
the
it work exactly the same thing, but work with like whatever the new operating system is, like the upgraded.
That's
Back
kind of
end shit.
Yeah,
That's kind of my moral opinion on Pro Tools as well. Like they're just like, I'm a shisty little bastard. It's like, fuck you, man. I don't want to pay your stupid license agreement every month. That's why I bought Studio One. But it turns out I should probably just buy Pro Tools because it has everything that I want.
Adobe's the same way, man. Like all the Photoshop, After Effects, Illustrator, InDesign, the whole Creative Cloud from Adobe. You can't buy any of them anymore. It's all gone subscription as well. I pay $800 a year for my design suite.
Damn, bro.
I mean, I write it off, but like,
still pay it.
Still sucks.
Yeah. Damn, that sucks ass.
Yeah. Everything's going that way.
You will own nothing and you will like it.
You know what we need to do? We need to make this podcast subscription based.
All right, announcing our Patreon.
Oh, you bought our album 10 years ago? Too bad it doesn't work anymore.
If you want to keep listening to it, you have to.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I saw a thing. This is also music industry related, but there's like a bill that maybe will pass that has like, CanCon, Canadian content. If you're not from Canada, it means like radio stations in Canada have to play a certain amount of
And TV.
Yeah, it's
basically any media except for internet right now.
Yeah. So apparently they have it in there about like Spotify having to somehow cater towards Canadian content.
I think that's also includes Netflix and streamers and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's lots of Canadian content.
So put us in there, man.
Yeah, get us in there, man.
Yeah,
we have a Juno. Let's go.
Put us in.
Put me in, coach.
Top. Everybody likes metal,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
sort of.
My mom comes to our shows, so therefore all people
if
love
our
it.
parents can learn to appreciate it, so can the rest of the world.
Dude, my dad drove 8 hours to see one of our shows once.
Hell yeah, dude.
Damn, super fan.
I mean,
Supported.
there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Was somebody on the last tour? Didn't somebody tell us they drove 6 hours?
That was that
God,
Minneapolis
where was that?
show where we were all fucked up at.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was that one.
rough.
They're just like, a lot of people came down from like wherever in Canada. And
Yeah, I think someone said they came down from Winnipeg, and at the Winnipeg show, a lady said she came from, it was 8 hours north. We drove through it on
Excuse
tour
me.
once for some strange reason, or I've driven through it. I don't remember what the fuck the town was, but she's like, I came here just for you guys. And she bought a shirt and left. And I was like, oh, I guess you really did.
that's crazy.
Yeah. It was like, damn.
I guess
Mini horns,
I don't know.
apples.
For me, it's like maybe that's if you're like from a big city type syndrome where it would never cross my even like to go down to Calgary was like a stretch. I'm like,
Well, when I grew up in
they
BC,
were really good. Yeah.
we used to drive about 3 hours, 3.5 hours from the East Kootenays to go to Calgary to see metal shows all the time.
I guess,
Like,
yeah.
we do that a few times every year.
If you're in a small town, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
big shows aren't coming to small towns.
They're not coming to where we live. Well, fucking.
I think
8,000 people.
Adam went to Seattle to see Iron Maiden like in 2007.
It's a little gassy today, guys. Here.
Something like that.
Seattle. I went to Seattle to see BLS once because they weren't coming anywhere around.
Bro, what do you guys
It
think
was
about?
sick
Okay,
show.
so back when we were younger, it was like seeing Iron Maiden was
Whoa.
top shit.
Yeah.
And then you would find like guys, you'd meet guys at the show who are like, yeah, this is my like 10th
Yeah.
show on this tour. I've seen them like this many times. And I'm just like, bro, like, first of all, that doesn't sound that fun. And I mean, I guess it could be, but I'm like, whatever you're giving up in your life to do this can't be worth it.
To follow a band around
Yeah.
on their tour?
I don't know, maybe
Because
they
like
love
some
it.
people do like 30 shows. It's like, did you take all your vacation time and instead of like going to the beach, you went and saw the same set like 30 times? I don't
You
know.
could just go to 70,000 tons of metal or something. Then you get
A 2-for-1.
a cruise
Yeah.
ship. Plus, you get to see like 30 bands instead of just one. And you get to see every band play twice if you're good at scheduling yourself.
Yeah. But I just always thought that was weird because I was like,
kind of crazy.
I don't know, man. Like, it's fun. Like, going to a show is fun, but like,
That one guy
the
who came to
same one?
that one guy
Yeah.
who came to every Bullet show when we were on that
Oh,
Bullet
yeah,
tour,
yeah.
that guy was fucked up. Like, that was a weird dude.
The closest I've
I
ever
was like,
been
how do you
was
do this? Did you like inherit a bunch of money or something? And
Yeah.
like, this is how you're spending it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, no one who has earned enough money to do this does that.
Yeah.
Like, you must have done something.
the
Jeff
closest
Bezos.
I ever got.
got hit by a
was,
car.
I think two in a row was the closest I ever got. Was Iced Earth Symphony X tour ages ago.
That's sick.
But I think it happened just because I was in Calgary. I had tickets for that show, and then Simon had actually called me up to Edmonton to do some music for the weekend. So I ended up here, and they had tickets to go to the show as well. So we ended up going to that one too.
Nice.
Yeah, I could see if it's like coincidental.
Yeah, I didn't plan it.
Yeah.
So.
If it's like a dank ass band and you love them, I mean,
It was
sure,
a
why
great show,
not?
and I'm glad I got
But
to
yeah,
see it twice.
If you were to go like see a show like 15 times on a tour, that's probably a little weird. But I mean, hey, any fans who want to do that, we still think you're cool because we're the coolest.
I guess all I'm
It's only
trying to
cool
say
if
is
it's
I don't
Striker.
quite
If it's a Striker
understand
tour.
the
all fans of other
but
bands are dumb. Only fans for Striker
I
are
think-
good.
It's still pretty cool. I mean, do whatever you want, obviously.
Yeah,
That's
don't let
the
us
motto.
tell you what to do.
Don't let us tell you what to do. You want to go to 100 shows by the same band? Totally sick.
I mean, if you like a band that much, like, yeah,
I'd go see
yes.
a band multiple times, like throughout the year. I think
Yeah,
Arch Enemy came through here like 4 times in 2 years. Like this
They
would
used to
probably
come
be
here
like
a
in
lot.
2008 or something. That was back when they still had Angela Gossow.
Yeah, sounds right.
And I think I went to all those shows, but those weren't all different albums, but they had multiple albums and they were doing that. So it'd be like, you go see them with one set, and then the next time they come back, it's a different set and shit
Yeah.
like that.
I do remember seeing them probably more than twice in a year at one point.
Good
in time.
times. They always played at Starlight, and now they're freaking
Yeah, they was
like-
played at was it McEwen Hall or McEwen Ballroom in Calgary.
That
I never
tour
remember
that
which
they-
one's which.
That tour with Behemoth they did looked super dank.
Yeah,
With
was
Unto
like-
Others guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looked like a fucking sweet tour.
I'm stoked for those guys. It looked like they were having a good time because they had a lot
Yeah.
of pictures with the other bands hanging out and stuff.
Yeah,
So that's awesome.
That looks
It
like a
seems
cool
like
tour.
the vibes were pretty good on that tour. So.
good vibes. It's your boys.
Yeah.
It's your boys. Shout out to your boys and Unto Others.
Yeah. We showed them how to tour
Yeah,
back in the day.
who are we touring?
Here's
with?
how to lose money on the road, boys. Let's go.
We don't really have a lot of couplings in Europe coming up, do we? It's mostly our shows with local openers. Is that
yeah,
what's going on?
we're headlining, and
Yep.
it's just us.
Except for we got the double headliner with Vicious Rumors.
Yeah,
in Tilburg,
we got a
which is gonna
Vicious
be sick.
Rumors.
That's gonna be great.
That'll be
Yeah,
a
really
sweet
cool.
show. I think most of the shows will just be us and locals.
Yeah. Party time.
Yeah, we gotta throw our weight around. Be like, hey, get out of the backstage. Quit smoking cigarettes in the backstage.
Yeah.
Literally the
cigarettes
least-
in the backstage is the worst thing
Literally
ever,
the
dude.
least you could do is not smoke in the backstage.
It's true. It's true.
Like, I like the smell of cigarettes, but I don't like to get like hot boxed in the fucking backstage.
Oh, hell no.
And then go on stage and feel like a frog because I was like sucking back cigarettes.
I ain't 21 anymore.
Like, if you're not used to, I don't know, if you're not used to inhaling smoke, it irritates
Carcinogens?
your fucking throat,
It does.
and then you
It's horrible
sing
for
like
your
shit.
throat. Yeah.
But if you're like Blackie Lawless and you can just smoke a pack a day and sing awesome,
Sing to playback.
roasted.
But
Man, we were supposed to tour with Wasp. That was like a Napalm Records had like it was sort of in the works to tour with Wasp, and then we
Gotta
heard
be
like
wild.
just fucking horror stories about touring with them, and then and I think it was a buy-on, and we were like, bro,
What?
like who's gonna pay for it? Because it's not gonna be us. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck. Yeah,
Oh, it was Chris Holmes in the band at that time too.
he might have been because that was like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
probably.
There's a documentary just about Chris Holmes out on Prime Video
Yeah, I
that I
haven't
was
seen it
looking at last night. I gotta watch it one of these days.
I was watching, bro. We should talk about this. That movie.
Bambi?
Oh, fuck, what was it called? Murder in the Front Row.
Oh,
The
I've
French
heard that.
documentary.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Dude,
Was it?
like the vibe that those bands came out of seemed so sick. Like they would just like go to this one venue and like it would be an absolute madhouse and they would trash the fuck out of it. And the guy who owned it was just like, whatever, I'll just like clean up and we'll do it again. And then like I think it was like Exodus like had a group of friends who were like I imagine what you would like. Chris Thompson would be like, just like an absolute,
absolute maniac.
And they would like they were like super anti-poser. So if you came in with like a fucking rat shirt on, they would they would grab it and pull it off, like rip it off. And it's like, I'm sure you're like a little
first date with a girl, make her wear
like
a rat shirt.
You're like a little metalhead guy going into a bar, and this fucking like fat alcoholic metalhead comes over and rips your fucking shirt off.
It's your first metal
and
show.
You're like, oh fuck! And then they were taking strips of those and tying them on their wrists as like scalps. Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I ripped this many poser shirts off at the show.
Wow,
bro,
that's pretty hilarious.
Insane. It just like that documentary made it seem like so sick.
I could imagine that happening at the meat hall. That was basically the closest we got to that kind of.
Like the meat hall
old school meat hall.
Yeah, just there. Imagine that, but like if there was 10 times the amount of people.
Yeah.
Did they actually sell meat at the meat hall?
I think it took about 10 years, but I think they did because they had their own beer.
They had their own beer, yeah.
Yeah, this is called grog.
Shit, dude.
I remember going there,
and
and
then
it was like
liter plastic cups.
Yeah,
of grog.
it was one of my favorite beers. I love this beer. I was like, oh man, this is so good. And then they had it for a couple of years, but like the first year, I was like, man, I love this grog. It's so good. It's super cheap too, because it's like a disgusting underground venue.
House beer. Yeah.
And then they're like, I remember my friend was a bartender there, and I ordered a grog, and he's like, here you go. Sip it. I was like, oh, this tastes disgusting. What the fuck? And he's like, oh, we cleaned our taps for the first time in like ever.
No, it tastes terrible.
I was like, oh, this tastes like shit now. And he's like, yeah, sorry, we cleaned our taps. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, so the only reason this secret recipe
that
was
woman's
so
actually
good.
a man.
The only reason that their secret recipe was so damn good is because it's just full of junk. Oh,
disgusting.
Well, I mean, it's like
it's like one of those old mom and pop hole in the wall restaurants.
Do you guys have like a
Pacific core memory from the meat hall?
Tap in your house that you think water tastes better out of?
Yes, absolutely.
I had that
It
at my
tastes
house.
way better in my kitchen than it does in the bathroom. It could be because I'm drinking out of the toilet, but I'm just kidding.
No, I had that. I had like
definitely.
Childhood home. It like the bathroom sink had like better water.
That's true. My parents' house, I think it was the same deal.
I think it had like, it was more like oxygenated somehow.
Could be.
I have no fucking
It also could be that it had like newer or older piping to it. Because I remember, I think we put new pipes in at my mom's house when I was like living there a million years ago. And like we put in a new bathroom, and my mom's house was old from the 60s. So all the original taps had copper pipes to them. And this is a new one, so it had a plastic pipe. And then so you go in and you taste it, and it tastes like shit. But the old copper pipe that's been there for like 50 years is like, oh yeah, mama, it tastes good.
I mean, so you know what you got to do to check and see if it's not all in your mind or not is you need to eat a sandwich in the kitchen and then go eat a sandwich in the bathroom and see if one of them tastes better. That will bring
this
you
is the
to
beer that fell on the
real-
ground and it did not explode. Look at that.
There you go.
You can tell because of the lumps here.
Lovely lady lumps.
It's pretty
It has
lumpy.
the slam missile technology, dude.
Yeah. You can go to space with one of
Bro,
these, man.
are we gonna next album Slam Missile?
Dude.
Dude, that's a great like what do they call
Slam.
that?
Well, I think the M is a
Innuendo?
missile. So it's just a slam. It's just a slam, baby.
Make one of our own acronyms.
Yeah,
but
Slam Missile is like a good
Slime.
what's the term?
Slime missile.
Acronym?
Euthanism?
Acronym.
Euthanasia?
Where you take
Euthanism?
letters and
what is that fucking word, dude?
I don't know what word.
where a bunch of
Initialism?
letters make up a word, but each letter stands for
not
something.
I think that's an
No.
initialism.
Euphemism.
Yeah.
Euphemism?
Is that the right word?
I don't know what are you
That's like
trying
a
to say?
metaphor, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slam
For
is a
dick.
euphemism.
Oh, yeah.
Slam Missile.
I got my
Okay,
slam
okay.
missile.
I got you. It could
Holy.
be euphemistic. Yeah.
Yikes.
A simile? Comparison using
No,
like
it was
or
a
as?
hyperbole. A hyperbole.
Hyperbole. That's
Bro.
like the Super Bowl,
Bro.
but way cooler.
You know what's
dude.
so weird? There was like I vividly remember in school learning about like what's a acronym and what's
Parts of speech.
Yeah.
And
What's a
okay,
PP?
hyperbole.
What's a poo-poo?
And like it's come up
Superlative.
so much.
Yeah.
It comes up a lot.
Language
There
is
you
the
go.
shit, dude.
Hyperbole is like
Language makes us who we are as human beings.
alliteration. Those are
You don't see no fucking animals in the
Bangers.
forest being able to talk and make poetry now, do ya?
I don't know. Some of those like parrots and stuff, they can talk.
True. It's true, but they have a set of phrases that they can use, and they're not able to be infinitely creative with phonemes like people are.
Apparently, what is it? Those squids? What are the other squids? But they like communicate by flashing.
Like
Whatever.
flashing each other?
Cuttlefish.
Oh,
Because they can change colors, right?
Yeah.
So they like flash a bunch of different colors.
Send signals and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should communicate more by flashing. Don't you think, like people?
I'm wearing gray, so that means I'm sad.
No, I mean like flashing. Be like, hey, what's up?
check this out.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted.
Depending on how many RPM.
I'm reading your signal. You're
Yeah.
disgusted.
It'd be more. Oh, cool,
Depending
we
on how many
communicate.
RPM I'm windmilling my PP at, that indicates a
It's
different
so
word.
much. It'd be so much easier than walking up to someone being like, "Hey, I saw you from across the bar."
Just windmill at them at 30 hertz.
What do you think about this? Yeah.
Oh, it's 30
I'm a
hertz.
432.
Yeah, okay.
The frequency of love.
Dude, that guy had so many hats. Dude, love, mankind.
Oh yeah.
He had like 4 different characters.
A wrestling hero?
What's the other
Yeah.
fucking guy? What's the main guy? Mankind. And,
mankind, dude, love.
Hell in the Cell?
the crazy
What was his
one.
name? Yeah, they were all crazy. Oh, Psychosis or no, fuck was it? Mankind was crazy. He'd always stick his fingers in his mouth and
Mankind
like
was
suck
crazy.
on him.
Oh, Cactus Jack. Was that
Cactus
the other
Jack
one?
was another one, but there was another one too. Mick Foley? Yeah.
Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Morbid?
Bro, have you guys
Is it
watched?
Morbid
was
time?
nuts.
Have you guys watched Dark Side of the Ring?
No.
I think I did a long time ago.
There's like 3 seasons of it. It's fucking awesome.
Okay, no,
it's
it
just
wasn't
like
a season.
okay,
series that I
so
watched.
wrestler, like professional wrestling, is basically primed for good stories because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like addiction, mental illness because of like brain trauma, and like fame, all wrapped into one. So every
Basically heavy metal, but in better physical shape.
yeah, and less brain damage.
Oh, way better
I
physical
think
shape.
there's a lot of mental damage.
Oh,
and
there's gotta be.
heavy
But
metal.
not
Those
like-
guys take
No, okay, so
bumps,
they were talking about like Chris Benoit.
bumps.
Dave Arnold's taking some bumps.
Chris Benoit. They like did a CT scan on his brain after he died.
Didn't he
and,
like kill his
Yeah,
family?
he killed himself, killed his family. He's fucked. But like
It's
he had
fucked.
like legit Swiss cheese brain. Like he had like holes in his brain.
Wasn't
doing
there,
drugs?
Wasn't
Dude,
there
no,
a bunch of
from
NFL
doing
people that
flying
had that too?
headbutts.
From doing headbutts, puts holes in his brain.
Flying headbutts. Because he got
Jesus.
so much brain trauma that they were like, "Yo, this guy's
Little
brain's like
micro
Swiss
bleeds,
cheese.
dude.
Yeah, it's fucked. It
Little
was
part of
fucked
your
up.
a little blood vessel bursts in your brain. You can't get
Mini
blood
stroke.
to your little part of your brain, then it just boop, dead.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah.
Who
So-
needed a brain anyway?
I mean, there's so many good ones. Like there's I didn't even know this, but they did a wrestling match in like WWE in North Korea, and apparently it was like fucking insane.
When was
Like,
that?
It was like I guess maybe in the 80s or early 90s.
Oh,
but I think it was 80s. It might have been this. No, it must have been the 80s. But like, yeah, they said it was just like fucked. Like totally. You gotta watch the episodes. Like it's such a good show. I can't recommend it enough. It's so entertaining.
Could you imagine going to North Korea to play a show?
Bro, it'd be, yeah. Well, and
be
like
wild.
half of
I thought
it
it
was
would be
like the
wild.
crowd didn't respond.
They
like,
probably
didn't
weren't
know what to
allowed.
think
For,
about it.
for like a long time,
Like, oh, we're not allowed
they
to
just
see them.
watched and didn't even react.
They'd be like,
And then
what
there
the
was
fuck?
a
The wrestlers are
Japanese.
like, these guys,
I
tough
think
crowd.
he the Japanese promoter guy was also like a wrestler, like famous wrestler from Japan. When he was there, like he got in the ring, I think, and like then the crowd got really into it because there was like a like an Asian guy in there instead of like the greasy white guys.
There's who these
I don't
who
know.
are these hairy
They might-
round
they might
eye
have-
looking weirdos?
Well, they might have felt more like comfortable cheering for like
yeah.
no one tries to say
Could've-
it's a
could've been.
slippery.
There's a slippery slope there.
It's a
eh?
slippery topic. Let's get off of it.
Stuff happened.
But yeah, like super interesting. Tons of really great stories in that show. I would highly recommend it to anyone.
Cool. Yo, dude, professional wrestling's a hilarious thing. Like when I was a kid in like middle school, I was big into like WWF. It was cool. Like, I'm gonna be a wrestler one day. Yeah, it's super cool, right? And then I kind of got a bit older, and I was like, wait a minute, this shit's all fake. It's kind of lame, and like it started to become a lot more like soap opera than actual like wrestling matches.
Isn't that what it's all about though? The soap opera?
Yeah, there's a lot of drama. It's part of the entertainment, absolutely. But like, and so I kind of dropped off of wrestling for a while, and I never watched it. I never paid attention to it, so I missed a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't care anymore. But then I got the opportunity to work on some music for a wrestler for his entry theme, and I went to a show in Japan. Dragon Gate Pro Wrestling is the name of the company, but there's a whole bunch of them out there. Anyway, Dragon Gate. I went to one of the shows, and I just remember sitting
Dragging these balls.
yeah, across. Yeah. So
Good one.
I remember sitting there on the bleachers watching this show and realizing that, you know, working as an entertainer, that like this is just another form of entertainment, and these guys are doing a fantastic job. The way they come in and they've got the show planned out so that you're on the edge of your seat, man. You're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God. And then something happens. You're like, ah. And then it goes, oh my God. It's like a hedging, dude. and then like, so I'm like watching the show.
That?
And it's like, oh my God. And then somebody wins. Whoa! Climax, right?
So you're saying they climax when one man pins another man down?
That's exactly what I'm saying, dude. And it was great watching it. And after the end of the show, we got to stick around, hang out with the crew a little bit, and talk to some of the producers and stuff. And I'm watching these wrestlers pack up all the ring themselves. Like that's their workout. Like they're packing up all the beams from the ring and loading them out.
I think I know their real workout.
And I'm like, dude, I know about that, loading out after show. But so and I was just like, yeah, no, this is great entertainment. Like it's a show, man. And these guys are, even though it's not real battling or whatever, these guys are cooperating with each other. When you go to lift somebody up and slam them, it's like, it's not just the guy lifting him up. The other guy is doing the moves that he has to do to get over top of that guy or push off his knee or whatever to make it all happen, right?
Oh yeah.
And they're taking bumps, man. These guys are smashing on the ground and they're doing all kinds of crazy shit.
It's basically like they're banging.
Yeah, and they're putting on a show, and they're all great actors. Like,
and they're also handsome.
You know what's so funny?
And so there's lots of girls there because they like to see the half-naked guys in their panties or whatever, and like
I think that's what they call them, their panties.
probably your wrestling panties, manties, the manties.
Has there ever been a gay wrestler and his finishing move is just like kiss the other dude?
There was Gold Dust. Remember Gold Dust?
There was
that guy was.
There was
wild,
I think
man.
some like early stuff like that. That was like the heel was like a gay guy. It was like bad or whatever, you know.
That would never happen.
He's bad.
No, fuck no.
He's got to be the good guy now,
Well,
and then everybody else would be the big A, and then they beat him up.
Dude,
Oh, what if they had?
funny?
Who's the rapper, like the gay black
Lil Nas
rapper?
X?
Yeah.
Nas X was gay?
No, Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X. Oh, I didn't know that.
Not Nas.
Oh, okay. That's who I'm thinking
Has
of.
he been on like WWE? He seems like
I
the
don't
kind of guy that
Yeah,
would just
his-
fucking love that.
his outfits
That'd
are
be
wild.
sweet.
There's
What?
some pretty extravagant outfits, yeah.
Dude, what's so
Love
funny
Fat Boy.
about
They should totally have a sweet like cross dresser, like get RuPaul on the WWE.
Dude, Gold
That'd
Dust
be
was the
sick.
shit. He'd do these moves where he'd like rub his crotch on their chest and shit, and then
was
they'd be
fucked.
like, "Oh my God!" And then he'd like blow
no.
kisses at him, and they would just make everybody
it
so
was, like,
uncomfortable.
just like super pervy. He had a.
I guess he was more of just like a pedo. I guess he was just like a
He was,
pedo.
yeah,
He's
he's
just
like
like
a pervy guy,
just a rapist.
just a creep, yeah.
He's just a creep.
And now the rapist.
Dude, what I'm thinking is like, it's funny how, like, in the United States, I guess everywhere, but there was like so much anti-gay stuff. But at the same time, wrestling was like super popular.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
I guess it's kind of like Judas Priest in the 80s. Like they're wearing like
and like nobody
Yeah.
knew.
S&M stuff and it's like super gay. But
And then he
it's
came
just
out
like,
and nobody fucking cared.
yeah, it's just
It's like,
like,
oh,
wow.
what? Judas Priest is
I don't
sweet.
know about that though.
Do
Like,
you know anybody who stopped listening to Judas Priest when they found out he was gay?
No, but I don't know anybody. I haven't talked to anybody who like listened to them before they knew and then after. Like, you know what I mean? Like I already knew when I
I'm
started
just a
listening
young
to Judas.
whippersnapper.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
When I
started
like
listening.
as soon as I started listening to Judas Priest, it was like the first tidbit of trivia anybody would give you. Like we were like in high school, like listening to Judas Priest and like, you know, the singer's gay. It was like the first thing.
Oh,
and you were
really?
like, no way, cool.
Wow, neat.
Like as if it could, like that's so fucking lame. But like,
Dude, so that's what you got to do to sing those notes.
when you're a kid,
I'm
when
doing this the
you're a
wrong
kid
way.
like that, like so ignorant to that shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
bro,
When you're a
that's
kid, yeah,
ignorant.
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
the type
yeah,
of the way we talked when we were kids was fucked up. It's like I
true.
can actually see the progress that like our society has made
In that
because
direction?
it used to be you just called everything gay.
Yeah.
And
It just
then
meant lame.
I just don't say that anymore. Like it's completely gone.
Yeah, I would never use that word to describe something as being not cool anymore.
Now people just say it's Morbin time.
It's
What
the
is
Morbius.
that?
Is Morbius like the big name right
The
now?
Morbin? Yeah. Morbius is the big hot meme these days.
Bro, did you
Damn,
hear?
I must be slacking.
I
Right
had
now.
2 Morbius tickets in my car. Someone broke the window and left 2 more. Shit. I haven't even seen that movie. I assume it's trash. I don't think I've liked anything.
Oh
Jared
yeah,
Leto's in.
it's terrible.
No?
Well, I mean, I haven't watched it either, but it's just hot
30
on
Seconds to
Reddit.
Mars?
not my thing.
It's hot on Reddit. That's where I spend most of my time.
The meme factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You ever read stuff on Quora?
I try not to. That's like the worst.
It's pretty bad.
It's just like, am I pregnant?
Yeah, am I
How do I know
pregnant?
if I'm pregnant?
How do you get pregnant, girlfriend?
How to cook pizza. It's just like, oh my God, what the fuck? This is the dumbest website in the
People
universe.
need to know
Pretty
these
funny.
things, man. They gotta know.
There's a wealth of information out there, people.
If you want information, just go to YouTube. How to burp. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you
Just
go.
like that.
Drink a beer,
YouTube's
kind of fast, and
Unbelievable.
let her
Bro,
rip.
the YouTube algorithm is fucking cursed right now, though. I like if I just like scroll through, I'm like, all this shit's the same. It's like, where's like the fucking? I
Where's
wish
the
there was
I
like
gotta search for more stuff.
Yeah, I
dude.
know, but I wish there was like a setting to be like a scale of randomization.
Yeah,
It'd be
that'd
like
nice.
I need like
Yeah,
a
that's
sliding
true.
scale. It's like I want something completely out fucking like unrelated.
That's
My
a good
brother
idea.
was telling me about how they do.
They want to narrow you down into a specific demographic for advertising.
dude.
Yeah.
So what they do is they like.
That's why I keep getting TRT ads. This man is old. He's shitty. He lays in bed all day. He needs TRT. Let's go. TRT and new bed sheets. That's what I'm getting hit with ads right now. I mean, to be fair, bamboo sheets. Bamboo sheets, baby.
We're looking at Tim's
yeah.
bamboo sheets right now. As
They're
he's
pretty
talking
sweet.
about them.
I want.
They're
to
really
more.
shiny, and they almost look like they're
They're
metal.
super
No,
soft.
dude, we're in the
They're
studio.
We're in, yeah.
We're in the lab cooking up beats.
Yeah, Tim's got a bed in the bed
Yeah.
in those studios. A
With
great
bamboo
studio,
sheets.
dude.
I'm basically Rick Rubin.
Okay, what I was gonna
lay
say,
in bed. And
fucking
that song's good. The song's bad.
fucking YouTube clusters its videos into like it's like a cluster. It's not even like a tag. It's like a generated number that's like here's this cluster of videos, and if you like one of those, now you're in this cluster of videos. And it's not even like, and then apparently that's how people can get down holes of like white supremacist bullshit. Is like
Yeah.
they get clustered, and then you get like you watch one video and it's
Hammers
like
you with it.
you're in there.
Yeah.
It's because they want you. It's whatever generates the most screen time.
Yeah.
Whatever keeps you stuck to the screen longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's why there's so much shit about murder.
That's why I
stuff.
watched
everybody's
that
scared
fucking
of that shit. and
Slam
They want to deal with it.
documentary
Dude.
on the fucking supersonic low altitude missile.
People love murder shit. I watch tons of that shit.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's wild.
I was
man.
watching
Get your jimmies rustled.
the thing on with John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Well, that
I
was a
watched
piece of
it.
shit.
That guy was a huge
What a piece of shit.
And then Richard Ramirez too, the Night
Yeah,
Stalker.
Night
I watched
Stalker.
one on him
He's a piece of shit,
recently,
too.
and it was funny because he was the guy who was so charismatic.
What about
And,
the
like,
John O.
even
Webster?
when-
the man who goes on tour and just
No.
kills homeless people.
Even when he was in jail,
I mean,
even when Richard Ramirez was in jail, he had like swarms of girls and like girlfriends who wanted to date him in prison and like
celebrity chaser. Like,
yeah, dude, he was like he was charismatic.
I
but
watched the
just a fucked up serial killer.
what was it? Zodiac. He was on
Yeah, I
Netflix
watched that one
with
too.
Zac Efron in it, I think.
It's
And he's
crazy.
like the Zodiac killer, I guess. Or am I
No,
remembering
Zac
it right?
Efron was in the Ted
There was a
Bundy
movie called
Ted
Zodiac.
Bundy, yeah. And he's just like, no, I'm not a murderer. Look how handsome I am. There's like girls fawning over him.
Bro, I hated that shit. So they kept being like, "Oh man, fucking."
But that's like what actually happened.
no, I know. So I watched like the documentary,
That's fucked up.
the documentary thing about him that came out before that.
So if I started murdering people, I could get some extra fangirls.
Exactly.
Oh,
but
all
like
right.
they kept
Join
being
my
like,
OnlyFans,
They
I
kept being
kill
like
people.
Ted Bundy's so handsome, and then you see him and you're like, no, he's not.
No, he's
The
pretty
fuck
normal
are you
looking
talking-
dude.
Stop
He was kinda
saying
fat
that,
too, wasn't
bro.
he?
It's like so offensive to like the people who got killed for them to be keep harping on. Yeah, but he was super handsome.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
pretty
first of all,
shitty.
not really. He was like pretty regular. He just
So what-
wasn't ugly.
What would Ted Bundy be doing if he had been born in 1990 and was alive right now doing stuff?
Not getting away with any shit. Although they keep finding more people. There was that dude who was killing people in somewhere out east.
Is the era of
Montreal?
super serial killers over or what?
I don't know.
Because
Or
you know,
that,
80s, 90s, that was huge.
that or they're just
Like-
getting way better.
Yeah, either that or they're
Or the cops are getting better at stopping it, or which I doubt.
It's probably a little bit of each. Because like I'm sure if you're a serial killer watching all these shows being like, oh, now I can learn how
That's
to
what
not
they
get
did wrong.
fucking
Yeah,
get
let's
caught.
not
Like,
do it
watch
that way.
CSI and for like 10 years and oh, okay, that's how I should kill
Like
people.
Dexter. Dexter knows how to not get. fucking-
Okay, that's how I don't leave.
You know
friends.
what the thing about Dexter, I never did go back to it, and I have a bittersweet spot with Dexter's. I watched like the first 2 seasons on tour in 2019 when we were in the States.
Yeah.
As soon as we crossed the US border into Canada, bam, not on my Netflix anymore. Mother. I never did finish.
That's why you need a Veepin.
I watched all of it.
Yeah,
Even
I've
and
been-
there's a new season. It's sick.
Yeah, I've
It's really
heard.
good.
Yeah, I got to get back into it one day. But I don't even remember where I left off. So I'm
Doesn't
like
matter.
halfway
Every
through
episode's
the
basically
series.
the same.
Yeah.
It's like bad guy, he kills the bad guy. It's basically a superhero thing.
I drop my dark passenger off at the pool, if you know what I mean.
Dude, remember I was roasting like so many bands had a song called Dark
Yeah.
Passenger, and I was like, motherfuckers watch Dexter.
Everybody needs a song called KO Can times 10.
Dark Passenger. What other songs are there? Out for Blood, On the Run.
Out for Blood's a lot. On the Run is-
How many
yeah.
more
There's
are
like
there?
10
Dude,
million
there's a
On the
chicken
Run
restaurant
songs.
called On the Run. There's everything called On the Run. There's like a bunch of like outrun stuff, like the synthwave stuff. There's a bunch of On the Runs with
Oh, yeah.
in the synthwave
Let It Burn,
world.
that's another hot one.
Let
Yeah,
it burn.
Let It Burn.
Let it burn.
That's just a good phrase, though.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I've always liked, but it's also been like maybe not the best idea. I've always liked really cliche metal lyrics,
Oh yeah, me too.
so I've always like piled them into
yeah,
Striker songs because I always just like I don't know,
Metal
you know,
is
yeah, like all those like
forever
good cliche
in every
lyric
single matter.
tropes. It's like you just think of like a funny new way to say it, kind of or whatever. But
totally. Play on words.
yeah, like I always think like all that like montage metal type stuff where it's like
Yeah. It's anthem.
over the top and like you know all that. I don't know. I love that shit.
I always thought "Born to Lose, but living to win." That's a fucking great lyric, man.
What we really need
Did
to
I
do,
coin that or did I steal it?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
what we really need to start doing is we write out our lyrics exactly how we want them. Then we translate them into some other language on Google Translate and then translate them back to English.
Stevie T already did that.
No, but that'll be like,
Yeah, but Stevie T sucks.
yeah, Stevie T sucks.
Stevie T.
No,
No, I
you're
can't even
wrong.
look at it.
Entertaining.
I can't even
I know
look
a
at
lot of
the
people
guy.
hate him. I watch his
But
shit.
if we do that, then we'll be like at the same level as all the like European metal bands with
you
the
go.
like
There you
weird
go,
fucking
yeah.
lyrics. Like what?
I see walking hand in hand, long hair drummer of the band or whatever.
Who's that?
That one. This is not Arctica.
Who's that?
I love that
Oh,
song.
shit.
Yeah, there's
With
some
long hair drummer
there's
of
some
the band.
hilarious English second language.
Dude, you try to write a
Metal
song in
material.
Finnish and see how it's.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's good. I feel like I should offer my services as a English as my primary language person who's in a metal band
This reminds
to
me
just
of
edit lyrics for people.
so.
I did that
except
actually, semi-professionally, when
Bro.
I was abroad.
The
Nice.
band.
I did a whole bunch of lyric translation.
Bro, this
stuff.
actually means your dick. You don't want that in that particular
yeah.
line. No.
I had a couple gigs too where I went to a studio where
This
there
is
was
slang for poop.
There
You
was
don't want that
somebody
word.
else singing a song.
I take a
And-
steamy pile on your chest. It's like, no, dude.
Like, no, you know what I mean, though. It's like, no. Like, what?
What's a steamy pile?
Bro, like I was gonna say, except apparently, it was like the one guy's wife. Like none of them spoke English very well, but one of their wives or girlfriends did, And so she wrote a lot of the lyrics for the band, and then they had like the thing I was watching about this was saying like they had kind of like a femininity to their
I
to
like
their
sexy
lyrics.
man with oil.
Some other bands
that's why.
too have a real distinction between how, like linguistically, how females and males speak. In Japanese, it's completely different. Like there's so many foreign dudes in Japan who sound like girls when they speak because they moved to Japan, got a girlfriend, and that's how they learn Japanese. So they're like,
Or they just learned
they
it from
sound like,
anime.
they talk like chicks.
Do they get kind of like roasted for it? Do like you sound like a chick?
Not to their face.
Ooh,
yeah.
rear end me.
As soon as he
senpai.
leaves the room, all the Japanese are like, "Whoa, guy sounds like a fucking weirdo." And then he walks back in the room and they're like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going?"
Lots of respect.
It's the classic
dude.
syndrome of if you're not in earshot, you're getting roasted.
Yeah.
Is the rule of the band. If you're the one who's not there,
You're not
getting
in the room.
roasted.
getting roasted.
Fuck that guy.
It's just how it works, man. It's always funny. If everybody's putting
Don't let anybody defend themselves.
if everybody's always putting everybody else down, and putting people down makes everybody feel good, then everybody feels good.
Everybody
it's
always
a net
feels good.
zero. Everybody feels fine.
A zero-sum game.
Yeah.
Everybody wins equally or loses equally.
Probably just loses equally. It's like the 48 Laws of Power. Remember that one? It was like, never make fun of someone's appearance. It was like one of the rules.
Whoops.
And we were like, oops. We've gone way too hard on that. We've damaged ourselves critically. Our reputations are fully damaged.
Talera.
Talera. Yeah, so on tour, for those who don't know, we had like these fucking crazy long drives. And so there's only so many albums in a row you can listen to. On like a 10-hour drive, you're like, okay, we've listened to like 6 hours of music. And it's like time for a change. So I have like a couple audiobooks. And one of them is the 48 Laws of Power, which is like a dense fucking
That's
book.
fucking cutthroat, man.
But it's
We never did finish those other books. We're going to have to finish them on tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we finished any audiobooks.
No, because I
Good
don't know. I got
chunk it
ADD when I'm up there. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I got to listen to music now. You get too many and you start falling asleep, man. The
It's true.
audiobooks are a little too dry sometimes.
Sometimes they're good for when you're driving, I found.
Yeah.
Because when you're not driving, like you're doing other shit. You're fucking doing something on your computer or something on your phone, or you're fucking jerking off or
Staring very sadly out the
who knows?
window.
Yeah, or whatever. You know, like you're doing something. You're trying to keep yourself busy and entertained. And you come in and out of the music or whatever's going on. But when you're driving, you're focusing on the road. Your hands aren't busy. There's nothing else you can really do. So the audiobook is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I got more out of the audiobooks when I was behind the wheel, for sure.
Yeah. Pretty great. Lots of good rules of power there.
Yeah, it's wild. That
Don't
book
make
is
fun
just
of
so
anybody's
cutthroat.
appearance. That's one of the rules. So if you want to have power, fastest way to lose it or to lose someone's respect is to make fun of their appearance.
Make fun of other things, though.
Like their
Yeah.
smell or something.
You got to be strategic about it. That's part of the book, you know. You gotta you got to do everything strategically.
Otherwise, you'll be beheaded by
That book,
Talleyrand
though.
or some other
You gotta
ancient
take-
Chinese emperor.
I mean, there's so much, real truth to a lot of that book, but you gotta take
fuck
some
yeah.
with a grain of salt, man, because some of it's so ridiculous. If you tried to live your life by that book, you would have no friends.
That's what he says at the start of the book.
Yeah, that's
He's like,
first thing
this
you
isn't
gotta
like
decide
a guide to like living
do
your
you
life.
want to have friends or not?
This is
Yeah.
how to be a sociopath. This
Yeah.
is how you get morbid.
Yeah. So basically, if you want to be fucking Putin or like, goddamn,
Dude, I mean, it's 100% accurate.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
in that,
or like-
in that respect. If
yeah,
you want to be
or
like a cutthroat
Khan or
leader,
something, yeah.
If you want to be a sociopath,
yeah.
if you want to be Kim Jong Un, which one are we on? Kim Jong Il. Kim Jong
Ill
Un.
now, yeah, ill. He's
Okay.
ill.
I
Didn't his
only
hair fall
remember.
out or something. I can't remember.
I only remember Team America.
Dude, that guy's had a
World
weird
Police.
haircut right from the beginning.
That other audio
What
book.
is it with like powerful people and either a weird haircut or a weird hat?
Dumb fucking hair.
It's like
Donald
and
Trump has some wild
dumb
hair.
hair,
There you go.
and then
Dumbass hair.
religion is like dumb hats.
Dumb.
Dumb hats and dumb hair. It's like, what is with
Check out my
politics and
stupid hat.
politics and religion?
Don't
It's
make
like,
fun
we're
of
all
people's
wearing-
appearance if
we're
you
all
want
wearing
power.
I'm not. I'm
That's-
talking about their hats.
They got that
Okay,
far
okay.
because they, you know.
Fair
Although
enough.
I'm sure Trump was making fun of many people's appearance constantly.
Wait,
Guaranteed.
he was like fucking.
Even though he
Wasn't
looked
it?
like
He
that.
roasted like some guy who was in a wheelchair. He's like, "Hey man, why aren't you standing up for an applause?" And the guy's like,
I'm in a wheelchair.
I'm in a wheelchair.
For real?
He was like a veteran.
Yeah, he was like a veteran, had legs blown off,
How's
clearly in a
your
wheelchair.
foot taste, bro?
Yeah. Well, I guess Trump like fucking did all kinds of roasting, and he just like nobody gave a shit, which is I don't know. Good for Donald Trump.
I think like 50% of the United States
People gave a shit. Yeah.
But like in the end, it was like nothing came of it except for he got fucking launched off Twitter.
Yeah,
it's true.
But I mean, I don't even fucking go on Twitter really. So
I feel like it's. I mean, I'm mostly on the gram and Reddit, and I feel like adding another social media platform to my diet would just be detrimental to my mental health.
Yeah, I try to keep it too minimal. I didn't even have Twitter for so long until I moved to Japan, and my agent was like, "You have to have Twitter here." It's like the.
I've heard Twitter is big in Japan.
Yeah, it's like the social, and that was at the time like nobody in Japan really used Facebook yet.
Facebook's definitely the
Instagram
worst.
was still kind of becoming a new thing and catching on. I mean, it was there, but like, even still, there's a huge Japanese population on Twitter, and I basically only use Twitter now to like post in Japanese.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like I tried to get into TikTok, and I just find it's just way too fucking cringy. I mean, it's probably because I'm getting stuck into a certain kind of demographic of the type of videos that I like, but it's all these stupid dances. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh, this is so dumb. So even though
you don't try the dances?
Well, sometimes when I'm drunk enough, I do.
Dude.
I was dancing hard at the Unleash the Archers
dances.
song. Unleash the Archers song. Unleash the Archers concert. When was that? Like,
you might have been overserved.
yeah, I was overserved.
I'm usually not dancing
season?
unless I'm overserved.
What happened to bartenders not serving you?
I was overserved at the Oilers game. That's for sure.
Hey, yeah, well, I took the serving it right test. If somebody appears to be inebriated, you're legally not allowed to serve them.
Yeah, I got my card.
Who follows that rule?
Yeah, fuck. Like all the rules. It's like, yeah, you should like suggest that they order food, or you should like not give them 10 shots. It's like no.
That's only happened to me like one time. It didn't happen to me. It happened to a guy.
You been cut off?
No, not me. The guy I was with
I've never been cut
was
off.
wasted, and he was like, "Let's get another round of shots." And the waitress just casually was like, "I'll just bring you waters first." And then he was like, "Good idea." And then they didn't bring shots, but like, I like looked at the waitress. And I was like, "Huh." She fucking did it.
Wow.
She was like, no fucking way. Like, this guy is out of control.
Right out of the playbook.
Yeah, it's like just bring them water instead.
I maintain the belief that I've never been cut off at a bar because
I've definitely been cut off, but only twice.
I feel like I'm too good at not looking as drunk as I am. Because there's been so many times where I've been out of my toque, wasted.
Dude, that's such a Canadian expression. I was out
of my toque, wasted. And like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know how I got home. So I woke up in my boots and nothing else on my bed.
You were overserved.
I was overserved. Absolutely.
Not
and
your
like,
fault.
And I'd be like, I kind of felt like maybe I did something dumb last night. So I'll be like, yo, guys, if I did something stupid last night, I'm sorry or whatever. You know the message, or talk to people the next day or whatever. And they'd be like, you looked totally normal. You looked totally fine. What? You were
home.
You were that drunk? Oh my God, you were that drunk? I had no idea. And I get that all the fucking time.
You were the DD.
And it's just like,
you drove me home.
I think it comes from like, the first few beers I had, I still lived with my parents and whatnot. And you had to go home and hide the fact that you were drunk or hide the fact you smoked weed. And I think I got real good at it in high school.
Yeah. I remember at my friend's house, like this would probably be like the end of high school or whatever. Like people like stealing vodka out of their parents' like liquor cabinet and replacing it with water.
Little bit at a time.
And it was just a little bit at a time, but it was literally just all water. Like all of their clear booze was just all water. And
all the whiskey was apple juice.
And it's like, I'm sure the parents noticed and were just like, if we just leave it, then they can't, like, every time that their kid would steal from it, it gets more and more diluted.
Watery, right? So they're just going to start stealing water from the booze bottles. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
So I can only assume that the parents knew about it. Because it's like, at a certain point, it's just 100% water.
You just pour in
Well, I mean, if you're just like...
I'm not getting affected at all by this.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of, like, the older boomer parent, at least some of them are probably don't drink too much. And if they do, it's probably like some kind of mixed drink.
Yeah, my parents never had. There was very rarely booze in the house.
Well, hard liquor. I mean, if it was wine or something, maybe.
Yeah, there's wine.
But like
sometimes beer, but yeah.
Yeah, just like drinking a straight shot. Like who? I don't
It's true.
remember.
Was
every
that like
parent
that was like
ever doing
something
that.
only for like
Yeah,
Wild
me
West
neither.
gamblers for like how many years? Like when
Yeah.
when did taking
I'll
a
take a
shot,
shot of whiskey.
when did taking a shot become like a mainstream bar thing?
Yeah, that's a horrible.
I-
idea.
I'm
It
gonna
must-
say
it's-
1920
It's probably been for
Birthday, yeah.
fucking ever, to be honest.
when they were
Probably,
flapping.
probably.
Get the flappers out. or
I got a funny story about
Is that like some kind of dress or some shit? The flapper or whatever
Fucking
from
no.
the 20s? I don't fucking
I don't know. Dude,
flappy
flappers.
dresses.
Damn flapper.
I got a story that doesn't have any flappy dresses in it, but it's about coming home to your parents' house, a little inebriated and trying to not be weird. And this was one of the probably like within the first 5 times I'd ever smoked weed. And I get to my parents' house and I'm just cooked. And I'm like, I gotta act normal. My parents are gonna know. So I forgot. I get home. It's family movie night. I'm like, oh, fuck.
They put on Ace Ventura.
Well, no, I gotta sit on the couch and eat popcorn, sitting in between, my mom and my dad, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck, we're on the couch. We're watching a movie. The movie's finished. I made it through the movie. The whole way through the movie, I was just battling my mind because every time somebody said something, the last word of what they said repeated again and again until the next person said something.
Oh, because you were just fried.
I was just cooked. And I was 16 and just out of my toque.
Your poor
So-
little brain didn't know how to
The
fucking
worst
handle
part,
it.
though,
You
dude,
overserved your brain.
I overserved my own brain. The worst part was the movie ended and we started watching the news. And
Uh-oh.
I was still like,
And that was 9/11.
I was still like, whoa, right? Still whoa. And so I'm watching the news and the same thing's happening. And then my parents turn off the TV and everything's quiet. Nobody's saying anything. And I'm like, I thought somebody said something. And I'm like, what? And my mom's like, nobody said anything, Pete. And I'm like, oh no. And I like ran to my room.
Hey, you guys.
The worst 3 hours.
Don't come in my room. I'm drinking it.
Like, what? He's like, nobody said anything. And my dad looked at me and laughed. He knew what was up, right?
They probably smelt it. They're just like, how long is he going to sit here for?
Yeah, probably. They're probably torturing. It probably wasn't even movie night. They're probably like, yeah, don't you remember movie night? And I'm like, oh, shit.
We're gonna watch this movie with a really awkward sex scene. Oh no!
I mean, I think that's how, like, it's horrible. Parents, I think it would be funny if I was a parent and that happened to me.
And I had kids? I would fuck with
it
them.
for sure.
100%.
Oh, man.
It'd be so
I-
funny.
Yeah.
I remember
I'm so hungry. Huh?
my mom like gave me a talking to. It's like, if we ever find fucking, if you ever come home and have weed, if we ever find you have weed, we're like kicking you out of the house. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I had it.
And then, but anyways,
In high school happened.
yeah, and then like there was like some weed left out on a table after a party or something. Mom came home, she like confiscated it. How dare you, blah blah blah. Obviously didn't get kicked out, but, but then it was just like I knew where my mom like hid things, and I just like snuck in and replaced it with like potpourri. Just like,
Nice.
yoink. This
I
is
remember
mine
my
now.
mom found a whole bunch of stuff that she thought was pot paraphernalia one time. Because there's
oregano,
no, there's a bunch of like pieces of pipe and stuff that I'd been like sticking together, but it wasn't for making pipes. It was something for like shop.
I was making a bomb.
No, it was like for shop glass or
pipe
some
bomb
shit. Like I
for my
can't remember,
enemies.
but like it was for
Rule of
something.
Power 69, pipe bomb kill.
It was for something for school. I know that it was for a project. And I come home from school one day and she's got it all in a box. And she's
Hey,
like,
what's
we
this?
need to talk about this. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you remember we told you if you're doing drugs, you're out of here. And I'm like,
That's my science fair project,
that's
Mom.
for school. And she didn't believe me. And like for like a whole day, I had to listen to this talk. And it was like, oh my fucking God.
Speaking of school,
It's like, yeah, I've been dabbling in marijuana, but no, that's not. You found the wrong stash, Mom.
I remember in high school, a bunch of my classmates like stole a ton of cookware from the like science classes. 'Cause
Yes,
they were like
same thing
cooking
happened in
shit.
my
I was just
school,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, no.
Beakers and shit.
Yeah, clearly they're doing their own Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I remember one kid in my like social class. He was like the weird drug dealer
We're
kid.
just making bongs out of it, you don't think?
They're doing all kinds of shit, but he was just like, "Yo, Tim, check this out." And I was like, "What?" And he just like opens the desk and he just has like a giant pile of like crack or some shit. It was like some kind of weird crystal. And he's just like, "Yeah, you want to get fucked up?" I was like, "No, dude."
See, you know, I hear about that in high school and stuff, but when I was in high school, I never once saw anybody with any drugs other than mushrooms or marijuana.
See, I was in a big city school.
That's true. I was
there
in a
was-
smaller town.
I think my graduating class was like almost 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was in a
Ours
really
was, like,
big high
crazy.
school
My whole
in
oh wow
Edmonton. So yeah, there was like all kinds of like weird fucked up people. I remember like on the like football team, people were just like, "Yeah, man, I like haven't slept in 4 days." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Because I'm a weird kid in the IB classes.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
smarty. Dude, I think
somehow I slipped into all the different social groups. Some people
Yeah.
like, "Hey man, you want some crack?" I'm like, "No." Oh, okay.
dude,
Cool.
like I think what's so funny is I don't think like our generation of parents understood what was going on. Like it was like
Tim took dare class twice.
Well, 'cause, like, when
he
you-
has 2 dare shirts.
when you think about
could
it,
never
it's
do
like,
drugs.
It's like you think about the difference between like what it was like in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
What was it like to go to high school in each one of those years?
yeah
And then like you were in high school in like what, the fucking 60s,
Yeah.
and then
The
like,
hard drug is weed at the time.
and your kid is
And
in
soft
high
weed,
school
acid.
in the year 2000. It's
Yeah.
like 40 years later or something. Like it's like there's going to be a massive difference
Oh,
in
yeah.
what's happening in the school.
Yeah.
So you're like and your reference is like what happened when I was in school.
Well,
and it's like,
back in
that is, like,
1950, we could
wildly
buy a
different.
the
fucking-
weed is so much stronger these days.
But like
It's like, is it?
when you think about that, it's like
Yes.
you almost need to do like a reverse education on parents and be like, here's like what kids are actually doing now. When you were in high school, it was this. Now
Kids are getting
it's-
fucked up on
now it's
Fortnite
this.
dances and
You know what
crack.
I think
But it's
is
like Xanax and
ridiculous
shit
is-
like that.
Yeah.
Like fucking pills.
But is that really the answer, man? Like, kick your kid out of the house if he's doing drugs? Like, come on. Like, I don't think, you know what I
Need
mean?
some social
No.
work.
Hell no.
Well, I mean, I think people know that now, but like back when we were
back
like,
then,
it was like,
like,
tough.
if
But
you're
that's
doing-
like
yeah.
what worked back then, right? You know,
There's
it's like
fucking
weed, I'll
their-
kill you.
It's like their parents, like that was a legit threat. Like
Yeah.
we'll kick you out of
Yeah.
the house and then you're dead. But
Yeah.
like now it's like we'll kick you out of the house and then like we'll get arrested for
No,
not.
now it's
you
like,
know.
oh, you're kicked out of the house for doing drugs. Now you're on the street where all the drugs are. Sweet. We did our job great.
Now you're sucking dick for crack.
You know what I mean? You're out of the house because you did drugs. Now you're where all the drugs are. Yay, we fixed
Yeah,
him.
dude. I
live in Tent City in
Hey.
Vancouver.
Striker brand reverse schooling for parents,
Okay.
who want to know what it's really like out here,
There you
like
go.
when you're a kid.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, as parties that we were going to.
adult males, we'll tell these other adults what it's like to be a 16-year-old.
Yeah, they've never been there.
Xanax or whatever. No, but like parties like in high school were like mostly just drinking parties.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it was like a couple guys brought the UFC gloves and fought in the backyard, and it was like
Oh, for sure.
UFC
yeah.
was blowing up.
There's
and
almost
it was
always a fight at
It was just
drinking
like
parties.
crazy shit. And I don't know. I just think like parents, they just didn't understand.
Yeah,
You just don't understand. Will Smith, he
It's
knows.
like the vibes were very different, I assume.
Yeah.
And you know, every parent is going off how they were parented by their parent. Either they're trying to do some things the same way, or they're trying to do things completely the other way because they didn't like it. And it's like, but it's all through the lens of their upbringing, right? You know,
Yeah.
I think
Right.
also something that's a
Like,
huge shift in terms
couldn't
of
possibly know what
like,
it's like to be a
youth parties
high school kid.
of kids getting turned
Yeah.
up is like probably pre-cell phones. There wasn't this like instant sharing of where the wicked party's at.
Yeah.
Because I remember in high school, it's just like
true.
you get the text and you show up on the weekend. And there's just like these fucking insane high school parties. It's just like 1,000 kids going berserk in someone's like bungalow house. Like I remember at my one friend's house, people are riding GT snow racers down the fucking stairs, making napalm in the backyard and throwing it on the fence. Like the fire department shows up. Like it was bad news. And this has happened every fucking weekend. There's like 50 kids in the front yard puking.
Oh, yeah, dude. Shit was
It's
crazy.
pure chaos. And that's because you could just like text your friends or send like go on Messenger or whatever. Boom, all of a sudden there's like 10 different schools just boom, they're all and that happened like every single weekend.
So we only had 2 high schools where I grew up. And very rarely did we ever go party at anybody's parents' house or anything like that when they were gone. What we would usually do is we'd have tailgate parties out in what they called the third field. And it was like, there's these 3 fields out of town. And if you went to the farthest one, you're probably not going to get busted. It's like, there's this big open field. You'd have a fire and everybody'd hang out on like truck tailgates. Super redneck.
Yeah.
Or you would build a log cabin for everybody to party in. And that happened a few times as well.
Dude,
and then the log cabin would get found and then you'd be in shit because they found all your stashed booze.
I remember at my my high school graduation party, like it again was one of those situations where just like, the cell phones whip out, everybody ends up at this one party, and it's like
the
out
Motorola Razors get flipped.
Yeah, exactly. Motorola Razors gets flipped, boop, boop, boop. And then it was out at like this one person's like family cabin or like their acreage or whatever. So everybody shows up there, and then like the bad kids show up, and they literally burn down like the farmhouse. And there's like all my friends had pictures of it because they were all camping there for the weekend. So everybody's taking pictures. Everybody wants their photo taken in front of them burning down.
Like it's like this guy's like
farmhouse. And it's just like, yeah, let's go. So like a bunch of kids got arrested out there. But it's like, that's my high school graduation. It's just like, oh, there's so many fucking like wild ass parties. And I remember in high school, it's like, oh man, university parties are going to be even more crazy. And then I get into university, go to like my first frat party. I was like, this sucks. This is lame as fuck. They're like trying to recruit you to get into the frat.
Yeah.
And there's like, I don't know, maybe there's like 50 people in the whole full frat, and everybody's very professional and just like, oh yes, I'm taking this because I want to be an accountant. And I'm like, get fucked, nerd. I'm going to be a fucking metal musician.
You're going to make so much more money than me.
I almost wonder, like, I wonder how, like, exclusive that was. Like, was that, like, an Edmonton thing? Was Edmonton just fucking crazy in high school?
I don't know, man.
Like, I remember that, like, we had, like, because our 2 high schools were, like, right next to each other, so.
No, that's Adams.
Oh,
I went to Chef.
Oh, you went to Chef?
Yeah, Adam went to a different high school?
Yeah, Adam went to FX, which is the Christian school, which is right beside JP, which is your school.
Okay, yeah.
I also remember another high school party. Somebody found their parents' guns, and they actually started shooting them through walls and shit. Needless to say, the cops showed up instantly.
You mean at school?
No. This was at a party. Somebody like found someone's shotgun.
Shooting holes through
Yeah, I remember going to a bunch of parties where it's like parents are out of town.
Oh, yeah.
The whole squad shows up, and people like punching holes through the wall, right? Because they're just like, yeah, fuck this random person's house.
Dude, I remember people doing shit like that. I never.
Oh my god, just wrecking people's shit.
I think like the worst thing we would do was like just fuck with the fridge. Like get in the fridge and take stuff.
Oh yeah,
whatever. But I don't
it's
think
true. We used to go to friends' houses and definitely raid their fridges.
Yeah, but I never did any like disrespectful type shit.
Breaking
but I mean, I've
people's
definitely
shit?
seen you like, some people in high school and you see them like go into like goblin gremlin mode, and they're just like. They get like their fucking mouth does like the
They
Grinch.
start foaming.
They does the Grinch smiles like, and then
like
they
that new filter.
Then they do something just fucked up, and you're just like, bro, why? Like, why would you do that? It's
Why
like
did you do
just
that?
like kick the toilet.
Like it's broken.
And it's like, bro,
how are we gonna take a shit,
dude?
idiot?
Like, I just remember so much random shit like that. Actually, a lot of that shit happened at our high school because we had the JP Tower.
Yeah.
And people would, so it was like a 6 or 7 floor like building, part of the school, but it's sort of separate. And it had like the art classes and the guitar classes and shit like that. Music, all that stuff. And then it had like a spiral, it's not a spiral staircase, but a staircase that went up the whole way and had a open middle. Which was basically free reign. Like people would go buy like raw meat like from the store and just like throw it down there and shit. And like I can't, dude, the poor fucking janitor at that place was probably just like, every day on the
dude.
brink of a mental breakdown. I guarantee. He's like, what's gonna be
What the
all
fuck is
over?
happening?
It's like people would just drop like, you know, those it was like applesauce.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You just drop, and it would just like hit the side and explode.
yeah.
And like,
Dude,
people
being a
went
high school
crazy in there.
teacher or anything would be rough, man.
There was a food fight every
High school
single
kids are
day in my
dicks.
junior high. It was just like a big area. There's probably like 300-400 kids.
I think we've
And then
talked
it's just
we
like
have covered
you would
the
just
food
open the
fight,
pudding cup and whip it,
Yeah.
and then it would just start. And it's
Yeah.
like maybe 5 minutes into every single lunch period. It's, oh, did I miss the food fight? It was just like fucking chaos. I feel like kids aren't that shitty anymore, but I don't know because I'm not in high
I don't
school.
know. Like,
Hey, anyone who likes Stryker who has kids,
Yeah.
because that's probably who we can actually get the information from.
yeah.
us
You
know.
tell their kids.
Are kids
listen
as
to this
shitty anymore?
podcast
Let us know if
and let
kids
us
are
know
that
how shitty they are. yeah.
I feel like they're not.
But I feel like I didn't admit that I was shitty until after I was out of that phase. You know, at the time when I was doing it, I don't think that I was thinking I'm being shitty.
Yeah,
Your
I didn't
brain
tell
was,
my
like,
mom that I needed
underdeveloped.
chocolate pudding
Yeah.
cups because I wanted to throw them. I didn't tell her they were ammo. I told her I wanted to eat them.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I ate them, but mostly it's ammo.
Mostly, I threw it over my shoulder. That's fucked. I mean, yeah, that shit was so
Excuse
brutal.
me.
Shit was so weird in high school, man.
Yeah, high school's a
I don't
fucked
even
up time,
I don't even
man.
remember it that well. Like, you know,
Probably took too much brain damage.
dude, Dave, who you may have just seen on our podcast if it comes out,
Darnold.
his memory for everything is so much better than mine. Like,
Despite the multiple concussions.
yeah, and I mean, maybe that like triggered something and he's got a better memory, but like, he remembers
Be onto something.
all the tours we were on, all the shows, where they were, what city it was in, and I'm like,
Wow.
each tour is like a blob with like
Yeah, no shit.
one memory that stands out, and I'm not even sure if I remember
I remember
it or if
that
I'm
one
remembering
store.
a picture of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. You get 2 weeks into tour, and I don't even know what fucking year it is anymore.
Yeah.
Half the time, like, where are we? What's going on? I just follow the day sheet every day. It's like, I know where I got to be right now.
Like,
I know what I got to do today, and I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna go to bed, and I wake up and find out what I got to do tomorrow, and do it again.
Tomorrow's day, I gotta drink beer and do a podcast. Piss.
Oh shit.
I hate planning any more than like a month in the future. It's like,
24 hours
The
is
world
the
might
max.
be gone, dude. Like,
It's true.
it's true.
true.
Why do you want to spend your time,
Dude, the
not
keys-
enjoying the moment and
The
like,
keys to happiness.
High school
Yeah.
children are
No,
gonna
don't
take
plan
on
too
the
far,
world.
dude.
Don't
It's
think
gonna
about
be
tomorrow.
pure
Don't think about
chaos.
the past.
yeah,
There you go.
Right now. Just think about right now.
Live in the moment.
Mama.
That's right.
So yeah, high school. That was a strange
That
time.
was true.
That was a high
And now I'm an
school's fun.
adult, and I spend most of my time, hopefully, asleep.
Funny guys, actually, did you guys know that I was actually a high school dropout?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I
So
graduated.
how did you get all those degrees, Peter?
Yeah.
I did know. I dropped out high school. I actually got kicked out of high school for being a little shit.
Yeah.
And then I had to
Being a
move.
turd.
I moved for being a turd. I moved about 20 minutes down the street to a different city and entered a different program to finish my high school.
Dude, that's funny you say that because that's exactly what John Wayne Gacy did.
Is that right?
No. He did
Like,
move.
oh, wow, we got stuff in common.
He got charged with sodomy and then he moved to a different...
Sodomy.
Yeah,
Wow. No, I got kicked out
Anyways.
for
How do you prove that one?
just like
Thumping butts.
just regular dumb shit.
I think
I'd like
technically it's
lipping
like
off teachers,
abusing
fighting.
a male, underage male.
oh,
is-
I thought sodomy was just butt sex.
Well,
That's what I
don't
thought
know.
too.
I don't know what the legal definition might be in terms of
Yeah, sodomy,
being legal.
buggery, sodomy.
Buggery? Is it buggery?
I thought
I
buggering
don't
was
know.
being gay or something. in the
Buggering
UK.
is having sex in the bum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I watched that
Anyways.
show on,
Like you could
The guy
bugger
that
a him
invented
or a her
Alan
or
Turing.
anything in between.
and he was like, he's gay, but he invented the Turing machine, which like helped win World War II. I'm like, oh, sorry, you're gay. You're going to jail. It's like, what?
That's like,
Fuck
bro,
you.
what the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah, that's crazy. Anyways,
That's a neat experience.
back to Pete going to
But,
school.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, so it was funny because like, and it was about. It got to the point where like, I started working, you know, because I wanted my independence, man. I wanted to move out on my own, and I wanted to have an apartment, and I wanted to get a job and do all that cool shit. But I was just too early, you
Oh,
know.
that
like,
sounds cool.
I had
Get a
other
job.
shit to
That
finish.
doesn't sound
I know. I didn't think it was very cool either. So, you know, and then I was like getting to the point where it was like, oh my God, this is the year that all my classmates are going to graduate and I'm going to be a fucking chud. So I went back to high school in a different city and I finished the last 2 years of high school in 1 year.
Nice.
Bam. Because I had a better attitude. I'd lived on my own. I'd been involved with some real sketchy people and kind of seen what the world was all about. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm not as much of a fucking, you know, like street guy as I think I am, right? You know, maybe I do want to do some decent shit with my life.
Perspective is important.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I got involved with some pretty crazy people right off the bat when I was like 16, 17. And so I went back to high school and then ended up at university.
Nice.
Yeah. And I got bit by the education bug after that. I fucking hated high school though. I hated being there every minute. I hated my teachers. I hated the school. I hated the town I was in. I hated my high school so bad.
And I think you should have been in a pop punk band.
Dude,
Yeah.
I should have. Yeah.
I hate my
the principal,
I hate
man.
my teacher.
The principal. Like I had a brother 10 years older than me who went to the same high school, and him and the principal butted heads all the time. So I think as soon as I came into the high school, the principal's like, "Oh, you're Kelly's little brother, hey, you little shit." And I think it was kind of like that right from the beginning. And I felt like it was like that from the beginning too. So I gave him just as much as he gave me, right? And it was just like,
It's curtains.
oh yeah, button heads with all my teachers, except for a couple.
That's interesting. I had basically the opposite experience because I was the IB nerd, and I graduated with like fucking 150 credits or whatever. So that's 1.5 times the amount of credits you need to finish high school.
Bro.
And
We might
that's
have to kick you out of the band for
in
this.
grade 12. I just
not cool.
because I basically finished high
that's not very rock
school
and roll,
in
dude.
grade 11 because I took because I was in IB, and instead of taking like, oh, I'm gonna take foods classes, I'll just be like, oh, I'll take math 30, just like your grade 12 math.
Yeah.
And then in grade
pretty
12, I was in all like math 31, which is basically like university math.
Yeah.
And like
sucked.
I was taking all the like
hated it.
university prep courses, and I was like, wait a second, what the fuck am I doing with my life? This is dumb. Because in grade 12, I had discovered the majesty of heavy metal.
In grade 12?
Yeah.
Wow,
And that's
late
I got
bloomer.
my first guitar when I turned 17.
I'd like let it be
Wow.
known that was when I was in grade.
1.
How old are you?
10?
I'm
You guys 2 years
35.
apart, right?
2 years apart. So I was in
Yeah.
grade 10.
There you go.
So I was into
Shit.
metal already.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've been into metal since kindergarten.
But
Well,
I mean,
that's when I joined a band, I guess. So
Yeah.
anyways, so I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, fuck all this. And I just like stopped going to school.
you literally got poisoned by heavy metal.
Yeah, I
you
was
were
just
like going to be a doctor, like a fucking inventor of
At that
shit.
point, I had already had like 150 credits. It's like, why am I in band class? Why am I taking university math? I'm already going to
go out and live
university.
my life.
Why am I doing like any of this shit? And I was just like, fuck this. I'm not going to class anymore. I remember in math 31, like the teacher gave us like, it's like graph this
31
fucking
suck.
graph this fucking like f of x is equal to like sigma or whatever. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna draw a sick dragon. So I drew a dragon, and that's the last time I showed up in class.
Nice.
The teacher's like, just don't come back. I'll just
Man.
say you withdrew from this class. I was like, yeah, brother.
See,
I think I had like 1 or 2 classes at that point, and I was just like, yeah, fuck this.
I had the older brother, man, who grew up in the heavy metal generation, so it was like there was no escaping it for me. Like ever since as far back as I can remember, I don't even remember it, but apparently when I was in diapers, we were listening to Judas Priest, me and my brother, and I don't even remember it. So it was like, it was no way. And my mom, you know, I'm her third boy. She's like, I'm gonna raise this one into a nice Christian boy this time. Nah, mom, it's not happening, right? Like, but the first time I ever got in trouble in school, in elementary school, I was in grade 2, and it was because of Alice Cooper Trash album. I don't think I told this on the podcast yet. But if I did, stop me or just fast forward. So like,
Skip to the
no,
next
my
time
brother
stamp.
had the Alice Cooper Trash cassette tape, which
Yeah.
I still love that album.
Yeah, it's sick.
What
was on it?
Poison was the
Poison
first
was- yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah.
Hell is Living Without You. Bed
Bed
of
of Nails,
Nails. House of Fire. Like so much good shit. Anyway, so I borrowed his cassette. And I took it to school because I was going to show everybody how cool I was for having the fucking new Alice Cooper album, right? And everybody's going to be like, wow, that's wild. Because even the cover was like shocking, right?
Just a butthole.
No, it was a bit cooler than the butthole. It was like 2 buttholes. So anyway, so I take this tape to school, and we had this class, it was like grade 2, it was like reading class. We had a cassette player with like fucking 10 headphone jacks coming out of it. And we'd all sit on a table, quite like this one, without the striker banner. And you'd put on the headphones, and everybody'd read along the book as the tape was reading it out. So you'd listen to the dictation and read along with it, right? Well, I swapped the tape with Alice Cooper.
We got a badass over here.
And we're sitting in there, and we're listening to Poison. We get about a fucking minute into the song, maybe, and the teacher knows something's up.
Yeah.
Either the sound,
keep rocking out.
either the song's coming out of the headphones a bit, or we're a little too excited about Myrtle the Turtle or whatever the fuck, right? So, so she comes over, she finds out what we're doing. I get sent to the principal's office, and I get a lunch suspension for a week, which in their school meant when it was lunchtime and everybody got to eat their lunch together and then go outside and play after, I had to eat my lunch in front of the principal's office.
So you didn't get pudding thrown at you that week.
No, and everybody who got to go outside and play, I had to sit there and write about how I wasn't allowed to bring heavy metal tapes to school. And the worst thing to me, like, I wasn't worried about me getting in trouble so much as I was worried they took the tape away and my brother's going to be pissed that he lost his Alice Cooper album, right? Yeah, dude. And so that was the first time I ever got in trouble thanks to heavy metal. And I never looked back since grade 2.
It's the only time I've ever been in trouble in my entire life.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
So, Alice Cooper trash. Thanks for the memories.
Thanks for the memories.
So, Tim.
Yeah, dude.
So, Dan.
Do you buy
diapers?
a wildly expensive guitar?
Or get liposuction?
Or do you get liposuction? Or do you get tattooed?
I think I'd do lipo before I got...
Lipo before tattoo?
Lipo before tattoo. You need to have a nice canvas before you draw on it, right? Like, speaking of guitars, why would you, like, get a custom paint job on, like, a $200 Squire?
There you go.
Yeah, so you need to get that Jackson Custom Shop body. So that's you
gotta get them bevels.
Every inch of that
bevels,
body
bro.
with Botox.
Yeah, I need to get the whole body with Botox, with lipo. Just suck the fat right out of me. Get new boobs, as in no boobs. Just get these cut right out.
Get your boobs.
Bro, you know what? Yeah. There's no point in doing chest exercises.
No?
Who wants a big chest?
Pecs. Dude,
I mean, unless you're jacked.
Early 90s Arnold Schwarzenegger pecs. Fuck,
yeah, I mean,
bro.
looks sick on him, but with like...
Yeah. It would look weird on me. Imagine me with Arnold Schwarzenegger's only just his pecs.
It's like an ass.
Could be pretty hot, dude.
It's a big ass on your chest.
I'm sorry, I totally
like, if I could go back in time in my journey of working out, I probably just would never hit chest.
What would you hit?
Buys and shoulders.
True enough.
Exclusively. The only muscles that look cool. A big chest just makes a shirt fit like shit. It sucks.
None of my shirts fit.
I mean, until
not because I'm fat.
Dude, that's until you get like to like a low body percentage, which while being a beer drinking band is impossible to do. Apparently,
it's true.
Except for some people. But I mean,
I'm just like,
Pete's got the opposite. You can't tack the mass.
I can't put weight on.
If I could give my mass to you,
I gotta work. There's gotta be a way to like do that. Like we got so much new technology coming out. Why can't we do that yet?
Yeah, how can you suck some of my mass out?
It's pretty weird.
Hey, at least you got it from someone you know. You don't want it from a stranger.
That's true. Yeah, I know. Just like rub up against a homeless guy and like get.
Hey man, give me your mass.
Yeah.
I want that permatan skin from the homeless guy.
There we go. Custom humans. Yeah, no, I got to work real hard to put on any kind of weight and keep it on.
Get that beef.
It doesn't work for me.
Metabolism
like lightning.
Just living my life is enough for me to fucking tack the mass.
Yeah,
you gotta
tack
be
it on mass, dude.
Yeah. I think switching to light beers is
smart.
Man, those craft beers are heavy though. It's true.
It also protects my brain.
Since we switched to light beers, like it's, and then I do go back and I have the odd craft beer and the odd IPA.
Is so much better.
Yeah, but dude, it's like that's like the difference between eating one hard-boiled egg and eating one huge fucking T-bone steak. Like yeah, like totally different.
I mean, it's so funny because like when we were in Winnipeg Metal Fest, Matt was there from Cryptopsy and he does the Vox and Hops podcast, which is a great podcast. If you guys like beer and metal.
It's almost like our podcast.
But like I was kind of like jokingly telling him like, yeah, we mostly drink like Bud Light, and he's like, yeah, oh sure, and I'm like,
no, we do.
I thought we were joking.
I was like, yeah, our like craft beer stint is over, dude. We like
we're old and shitty now,
don't
dude.
drink that shit. It's like, bro, I can't.
He's older than we are, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy, I had no idea.
mean,
I thought he was like younger than us.
Those.
Then I thought about it.
Well, maybe you.
He's more of like an appreciation.
Yeah.
They're doing like an appreciation. Like that's like cork sniffer type
Yeah.
beer drinker. Whereas like I'm like I love craft beer, but like
I really do.
I'm kind of on the. It's like
I'm too old to drink it now.
I'm like almost all these IPAs taste the same. I haven't had like a new beer in a long time, and it's like okay, yeah, like the IPAs are good, but
I've had at least
You gotta
1,000 terrible hangovers.
yeah,
I've had enough of those. Let's just
You gotta
switch
go
to
out
the
on a limb
Coors
and
Light
try
hangover,
something
which
weird.
isn't bad.
Yeah. Pick up a mead every now and then. Pick up a sour beer.
I think
Yeah,
Pick up like
I
a
do not
weed-
like sours.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like them.
it's like so for like example, the playoffs are on right now, and watching
Sports.
the Oilers is like okay, that's a commitment of like 2 to 3 hours usually to watch a game, and it's like if you drink beers at like a pace that's pretty normal, you're just like having a sip or
10
whatever.
beers a period,
It's like
like a normal person.
if you have like tall boy 7% beers that are like 400 calories, and you drink them the same way you would. You drink them the same way you would like just if you had glasses of water or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it just dumpsters you.
Oh,
But
totally.
when you swap in the Bud Light or the Coors Light or whatever, it's like, oh, okay,
You go the
now
whole
it's like,
game.
yeah, and then you feel fine after. You don't wake up the next day and be like, oh, my guts are destroyed because of whatever the fuck random shit they put in that craft beer. Was that FDA approved?
But
that
then
craft beer?
on the other hand, when you're not trying to pace yourself and you just want to get a nice quick buzz on for maybe an hour or two before you go to bed, 2 or 3 of those strong craft beers at night is really nice.
time and place.
Just have a shot of
It's true.
Jägermeister,
Time
dude.
and place. But I don't like
But I
Jägermeister.
just
Too
think,
sweet for
I just
me.
think we used to like do like we would drink craft beer at parties like you would at like a frat party where it was like normally you'd have like a bunch of light beers, but then
According to my personal experience, frat parties are lame.
and then you
Yeah,
swap. I was gonna say
apparently. I
high
never
school
went to
parties
one.
instead, and then you've swapped out that casual, easy drinking beer for like I'm a craft beer guy now. I only I went and got like 8 IPAs. and then you just
long beard.
Killed you just killed yourself basically. It's fun.
It's true. After Marisa's show, so our friend Marisa is in a like cover band called Rat Poison, also in some other bands. Anyways, she played a
Great
show
singer.
last week. Was that last week?
yes.
Yeah,
Last
at the
weekend-
hockey game.
It was. They played right after the hockey game was over.
Yeah.
And I ate dinner. Then I went to the show and ate a hamburger and fries. So I ate dinner too.
You did what's that called? The double bang or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, a mukbang. I mukbanged it. And then I probably had, I don't know, like 10 fucking... But I was drinking Guinness, which is a light beer.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. And I had like...
This is a light beer.
Well, percentage wise,
Well, compared
It's
to
like
craft beers,
4.2%, I think.
true, yeah.
Anyway, so
That
I had
used to
like
be the
10
thick
million
beer.
Guinness.
yeah.
Woke up in the morning. I didn't feel terrible.
No.
And
Just,
then,
like, fatigued.
yeah, a little tired. I got home late. Oh, yeah, because that's also the
Your
night.
social battery was drained.
Yeah, that's also the night where I came home and like I got that family pack meal on Skip the Dishes from McDonald's. It was like 2 double cheeseburgers, a Big Mac, 20 nuggets, and
Holy
like 4 fries, all this. Anyways, so I ate that too. So I probably ate like that was probably like a 10,000 calorie just evening, not even a day, just the last 8 hours of the day.
1,000 calories
Oh,
in a
yeah.
day. Wow.
Crushed it.
Anyways, woke up in the morning, went to go weigh myself. I was 2 pounds lower than I was the day before.
So you just got to
know
do
what
that
that's-
every night.
You know what that is?
Dehydration.
Dehydration. It's going to bounce back.
The day after, I was also down.
Oh.
So like I didn't go back up to that previous weight. So
There you go.
I mean, I ran.
felt
Because you
horrible
ingested
that morning
zero
after.
nutrients.
Yeah, I
So your
ran
body
once
was
that
like,
week, so it just burned it all
Your
off. That's how
body-
it works, right?
Nutrients
I did
didn't help
one
me at
run.
all. I chose healthy foods that night. I had a plate of broccolini
It's true, you did.
and like 8 prairie fairies.
Oh, sugar drinks.
Oh,
Sea change.
I feel horrible.
They-
I love those beers though. Like,
They're good,
Yeah.
but I can't drink like I
8
can't
of them?
do
yeah. Bad
sugary
idea.
sweet stuff. Like I mean, even like we went through a huge phase of like drinking the Hefeweizen, like especially the German Erdinger and all that stuff.
Yeah.
and
I
like
mean, those are good.
and they're really good. But then after a while, I was like, man,
I feel
they're
bad.
just like they taste so sugary.
I smell like beef.
Yeah. Erdinger is still a top beer. That's like one of those beers.
Erdinger's great.
When I meet someone who's younger who hasn't like traversed the plains of
You
craft
just
beer,
slap them in the face.
I always
You're
tell
a
them,
dumb idiot.
they're like, "Oh, I really love like this one beer.
I really love
I'm
Bud
like
Light."
I'm like a
Kokanee guy.
yeah or whatever." Or they're
And
like
it's just because his
or they're
drunk
like,
uncle likes
dude,
it.
it's always Stella.
yeah.
It's always Stella. I find
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like
Stella.
they're like, "Oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
really like the craft stuff like Stella or whatever."
It's
And
like,
I'm
oh,
like,
you mean the biggest brewery in the world or
It's like,
whatever?
kids in high school like the beer their
Beck's.
drunk uncle drinks.
anyway.
Beck's?
So I would
Beck's
always
now,
tell those
sorry.
people like try Erdinger for your first like outside the box beer that isn't like a fucking domestic
dong.
whatever. And they always try it. They're always like, whoa, like, that was so good.
I have a
great.
good story about being a dumb kid and then learning the taste of beer. So when I was a young whippersnapper, I think it was on my 19th birthday, my mom got me 2 cubes. So a cube, if you don't know, is I think it's 48 beers. It's like in a big cardboard cube.
It's in a cube.
So my mom got me, I think it was Budweiser and
Was that 8x8?
Kokanee. I don't know what it is, but I think it's 48 beers. It's like a fuckload.
It's like a lot. Yeah.
Anyways, my mom got me 2 cubes, and up to that point, I hated the taste of beer, and I was just like, this is disgusting. I hate it.
Your mom's like, you're gonna learn to drink.
But anyway, she got me these
like
2
it or not?
cubes, and yeah, it's just like if you're gonna go out and party, you know, you gotta bring something. And it's like I have these beers. It's like I'll just bring these beers. So eventually, it took me like a whole summer because my birthday's in the summer. It took me like a whole summer to actually drink them, and then by the end of me finishing it, I had developed a taste for beer.
Yeah.
So thanks, Mom.
Look
at me now.
It's such a funny thing. Like I remember seeing some like joke about it. It's like it's the only drink that you have to like peer pressure yourself or
How to like. Yeah.
It's like, man,
But
this
it's-
tastes like
But I
shit.
feel like
It's funny,
coffee's
like-
kind of the same thing.
It is,
Like,
totally.
Coffee doesn't taste good until you fucking have it a few times, and then you wake up in the morning and smell it, and you're fucked because now you can't go out without it. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's weird. I remember like having like
bitter,
my first taste
brown.
of beer, and it was like 3 of us like shared a beer in a field one day.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, ew, gross.
This is disgusting. But my dad drinks it. He's cool.
Yeah.
It's just such a weird like thing. And but like I mean, I'll drink like a non-alcoholic beer now because I like legit just like
The
like
taste.
The
taste of
Hogard
beer.
and non-alcoholic beers are really good.
Yeah, it's like
I've had those.
it's just good. But yeah,
There was a beer I had that's very, very similar to Erdinger. I had in Greece one time called Alpha. Have you guys ever had an Alpha beer? They make an Alpha and then they make an Alpha Weiss beer. And the Alpha Weiss beer is pretty much them doing their own version of Erdinger, I think.
Sounds
It's like
kind of
a
like
yeah.
Extra,
wheat
which
beer,
is
yeah.
gross. But
Yeah,
whatever.
but no, it was great. I drank so many of those things in Greece. It was great. And they were amazing. They had Erdingers at the hotel, and I drank all their Erdingers. So then all they had is like, what else you guys got that's kind of like this? And they're like, oh, well, we got this Greek one, Alpha. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll try it. And it didn't taste that much different. So then I drank like, all their Alphas. It's like,
Oh.
we were there for 3 days.
so here's a
okay.
question: post Wacken, what are we doing?
Yeah, good
Amsterdam.
question. Dying
Amsterdam?
happy.
We're not going to Munich.
That's like the complete opposite side of Germany. And
yeah, I
it's
guess.
also, it's also
Munich
the
is far.
farthest away we can get from an airport that flies to Edmonton. I mean, we could go to. I mean, who cares?
No.
Fuck it.
Are we on the last day of Wacken?
August. No, I think August
like,
6th
the
is
middle
the
day,
second
right?
Second day. Yeah.
Oh,
Because I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think. Or I thought it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
I don't know.
or maybe
There
I
could be
don't
a
know.
small day on the beginning or the end. I don't know. I think it's 4 days.
My mic pick this up.
Probably. I mean, you're right beside
Probably
it.
massively loud.
Yeah, you're probably just crushing the mic right
I'm trying
now.
to do it like really quietly and nicely.
It's probably terrible. You're just
We'll find
killing.
out.
Okay, so Amsterdam.
Probably Amsterdam. I mean, I like going to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam has been
Amsterdam's
pretty fun. I mean, like that one time we should just stay in that same hotel and then rent the bikes
That was cool.
and bike
I like
down
that a
to the
lot.
downtown. That was awesome.
We could stay in
sounds like a blast.
Frankfurt, that one hotel we stayed in where there was mice in the room. You remember that?
What?
It was the
No.
last day of tour. That was like when we went and got, I think that was the last day of our Skullfist tour. And it was in Frankfurt. And then we like went to go get, we went to the schnitzel place and you and Bill ate like twice.
Double.
Yeah. And then we go back to the hotel. And I remember, I think it was me, you, and someone else were in our room. And Chris and Adam were in a different room. But we're like in the room putting our stuff in. And then there's a mouse. He just goes, doop-a-doop-a-doop. It's like, what the fuck? There's a mouse in the room. Call down in front desk. There's a mouse in our room. We're like, oh yeah, that happens.
Don't feed them.
And it's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, they're just like, yeah, whatever. And it's okay. Fuck,
I had
that
an
sucks.
experience like that in, what is it, Alberta Beach?
Yeah.
I went out and spent a weekend in Alberta Beach, and we got a hotel like right across from the lake or whatever. And the hotel was nice. It was really nice. But then, and so we went out and we did our, our beers and our dinner and our evening walk on the beach and all that like fancy shit. And we get back to the hotel, and it's probably like 11 or midnight or something like that. Open the door, come on in. Oh yeah, nice hotel, great. Close the door. There's like a million bugs like stuck around the door frame and the window frame and like just lake bugs. They're not even mosquitoes, but
Sounds
they
like
look
Alberta.
They look like mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And it was literally like a curtain of bugs on the wall around the door. And I was
Would
like,
you say it's curtains?
this is fucking gross. It was a bug curtain. Yeah, it was curtains for bug curtains. So I called the front and I was like, yo, there's like
Get the flamethrower.
a million mosquitoes in our room. They're like, oh, those aren't mosquitoes. They're blah, 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 lake bugs or something. And I'm like, oh,
Gross.
well, there's like a million of them. What should we do? And they're like, oh, just ignore them. They'll be gone in the morning. I'm like, oh,
That's disgusting.
okay, thanks. And so I guess it was a pretty normal thing there. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah.
Better
but,
than
like-
high school kids
I'd rather have a million lake bugs
trying to bum your fucking beers off you.
instead of a million high school kids, yes. I don't even want to deal with one high school kid.
Curtains.
God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fuck.
we're at like an hour and a half here, guys.
Okay,
we got a long one today. Long one.
Well, coming up next for the band, Europe tour, a new single coming out eventually sometime. We just got our artwork. We're stoked on it. Artwork looks sick.
Yeah, I give it 2 thumbs up all the way to the knuckles.
It looks sick. The song you're gonna hate.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna love it more than any other song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. And then we'll have to change our whole vibe. We'll see. If it's the most successful song, we'll have to change our whole fucking vibe. But whatever, it's fine.
It's true.
Whatever.
Whatever.
We're making all you metal guys soft.
All right. Well, till next time.
Shrek.
Smell you later, dudes.
Bye.
That's the podcast, bro. That's right.